Welcome to Boxing on the Record with Randy. Now's the time for a commercial break so that you can have the opportunity to like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe, most importantly, so that we'll be able to reach more people, get content out, and let other people engage with it. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. What I have on my mind today is I watched a video from Blue Blood Sports TV. Yes, I do watch other content creators, and Blue Blood is one of the content creators that I do watch because he's one of those people that stay up on the news. He's one of the hardest working people in the boxing YouTube game. Got a lot of haters, but it is what it is. But yes, I'm admitting that I do watch Blue Blood Sports TV and a lot of other people because other content creators watch other people also. And if I see something, I'm gonna give you your credit for it. I don't care who you is, whether I like you or dislike you. I'm gonna let people know I got it from them. And I was watching this show this morning, and I seen him doing a reaction, or however you want to put it, on Terence Crawford, um, about his retirement and who he's giving credit to. So I decided to chime in on it. The only difference than me watching other content creators and giving my response to the video that they made, and you that's watching this, you leave it in the comments. I'm able to make a video. But this was Terence Crawford explaining his retirement and things of that nature. And that's what I'm kind of reacting to now. Instead of leaving a comment in the comment section, I'm just doing the video. He asked Crawford, what's the toughest opponent you ever fought? And Crawford said Gamboa. Now, a lot of people have a backlash or disagreement with him saying the toughest person he ever fought was Gamboa. But personally, Gamboa was one of my favorite fighters. I used to tell my uncle all the time that he was going to be that next one. I followed Gamboa for a while, man. Gamboa was that guy. Well, he was headed to be that guy. And just like they say, one fight could change everything, or one situation could change everything. That's why we watch boxing, because it simulates life. One punch in a match can change anything. One decision outside the ring can change anything. So I think Gamboa got derailed when he started dealing with too many people in his camp and listening to too many people. But that's neither here nor there. Gamboa was a great fighter. He was on his way to be a great fighter. And it's funny how when you have a great fighter, if the public ain't champion behind that fighter, or if he's not well known, then he don't really get the spotlight that other fighters get that's well known. That's just like Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford was a great fighter. I missed a lot of that because I was too busy listening to other people, and they was telling me this and that about Terence Crawford. But then I started to look for myself and seeing that Terence Crawford was an awesome, amazing fighter. Terence Crawford was just as good as Floyd Mayweather, but a lot of people don't give him credit for it because he wasn't as flashy as Floyd Mayweather. Sometimes we as people can get caught up in the package and not what's in the package. I mean, the present, the wrapping in the package of the present versus what's actually in the box or in the bag or in the whatever. They can bring you $1 million cash. And if they wrap it in something spectacular, you excited when you see it. Then when you open it, make it even that much exciting. They can also bring you $1 million wrapped up in some newspaper. I know we don't really use newspaper anymore. I'm kind of dating my age, but it could be wrapped up in newspaper, and you kind of frowned on receiving it because of what is packaged in. But then when you open it, you will get that effect. But so I said compare that to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford was just as good as Mayweather, but he wasn't as flashy as Mayweather. He didn't talk that talk and give you that entertainment that Mayweather gave you. He got in there, he handled his business, and he got out of there. Mayweather gave you that excitement and that entertainment before he got in there to handle the business. So if you didn't follow boxing, you follow Mayweather because you knew he was gonna give you some kind of excitement and some kind of not drama, but some kind of entertainment leading up to the entertainment that he was going to entertain you in the ring. He asked Crawford why he retired. And Crawford said, now he asked him, was it about the belts? He said, no, it wasn't about the belts. He said, man, I'm 38. 38 is old in boxing. You have a few that defy the odds. Once you get to be about 35, it's just about over. It's just about over. And he understands that he's gotten to a point where it's harder to make the magic happen that was happening when he was 30. We don't know what it took to get Crawford through that Canelo fight. Only Crawford know that. Do he feel like he had enough in the tank to do it again? I believe he did. Did he feel like he had the key to beat Canelo? He probably did. But he knew that was kind of an easier fight. But he knew using going on, adjusting to these other fighters might be a task for him that he's not up for. Because once you get to be about 35, contrary to what popular belief, and if we look at it like this, 35 and 25 is 10 years. Those punches ain't as sharp and crisp after 25 than you get to 35. The reflexes start to fade. You can do little small things to make up for that. But it get harder as age go on to hide those imperfections. And we know boxing is a lot of setup, the sweet science. And we know a good fighter or even a great fighter in there with another great fighter can exploit those little small, minute things that we don't see outside the ring. They see them and they can take advantage of them. So he understand he had to walk light. Not saying that he cherry picking or whatever, but he got to walk light because he understand that if you run up against the wrong guy and he peep your hand, it could be a long night for you, or it can also be over. So do I think he got old? He done got old? Yes. 38 is old. He have gave us more than what the average person would give us. So yes, I believe he's gotten old. Me, just like a lot of people would love to have seen him conquer the belts at 60. The thing, the division was lined up for him at 60, but then it fell apart. So I don't blame him for exiting the division. At 38 years old, you can't fight through a whole lot of hungry lions like you used to when you was 30 or 20. You can't fight through those lions. So why not take advantage of the fact that you got the champions at that time holding the belts, and the haters, for whatever reason y'all want to hate on the champions that's holding the belt, they had them. So you got the champions that's holding the belts at that particular time. I don't see nothing wrong with him giving it a shot at fighting the ones that's holding the belt. Of course, you take anybody that's not satisfied with the ones that are holding the belts, they gonna always say, well, if this person was holding the belt, he wouldn't have beat that one. If that person was holding the belt, he wouldn't have beat that one. But you could throw all that out the window, because the ones that's holding the belts are the ones that's holding the belts. They did whatever it takes to get to be holding the belts. Lied, cheated, steal, or whatever they had to do to get the belts. They had the belts. And your job as a fighter is to, as they say, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Just so happened, those were the men. And if he beat them, then he become the man, because in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So you robbing him, and you robbing yourself, and you robbing the boxing world to say, well, I think he should have climbed the ladder to get the belts and not just tuck them on a cherry pick or whatever you want to call it. He was willing to fight the people that had the belts. The bottom line is, when it comes to Terence Crawford, he's just like any other fighter. If they hate him, no matter what he do, there's going to be hate. If he fight and make the fight look easy, the opponent was nobody. If he fight and have to try to figure the opponent out because he's awkward and he kind of difficult to manage in the ring, if you will, Then he been exposed and he almost lost, or I think he lost that fight. So when it comes to this game, if they hate you, they're gonna find a reason to hate you. If they love you, they're gonna find a reason to make an excuse for you. So as I said, if Terence win, the opponent was nobody, especially if he win in dominant fashion. He was a nobody. But if he have a hard time trying to figure out the puzzle, he been exposed. He got beat. He or he couldn't conquer a lesser fighter. So I think he's doing what he need to do. He need to go ahead and retire and get out of here because he have nothing else to prove. What else does he have to prove? If anybody else would have left and went up 2, 3 divisions and fought the best fighter up there and won in dominant fashion, they would have been praised from here to the time Jesus come. Especially if Tank Davis would have left 130, 135 and went all the way to 154 and beat Boots Ennis, you would have never heard the end of that. So, as I say, I try to make my own assessment of what's going on in the ring and with the fighters. And I don't really listen to a whole lot of content creators. I look at content creators because you got a lot of good content creators out here that's bringing the news. And I would be a hater if I didn't look at the content creators. We, as in this game, it's taboo for me to look at another content creator or to comment on another content creator because now I'm watching a page or whatever the case may be. If you work for CNN News, a lot of them probably watch Fox News, even though Fox News is, they say, fake news, but a lot of them do watch ABC News or whatever else news. So why I can't watch other content creators? I got to listen to some child on the internet. I say child because a lot of these content creators young enough to be my son. They're the same age as my son or younger, or a little bit older. So I'm not gonna be governed by no bunch of children, and I'm not gonna do what children do on the internet, go back and forth and all that foolishness. I'm not doing that. But I watch these content creators to get news. Do I agree with everything I see people post? No, I don't. But I do watch them, just like y'all watch them, the people. So I don't want to continue to start naming because then you know how these children on the internet get to be. Oh, now you choosing sides. Now you with them. Now you with them. I watch a lot of them. But I always try to watch the ones that make sense and not the ones that's biased in the hate channels. I don't watch them because I'm not about that. I'm about trying to learn the game of boxing and trying to understand the game of boxing and trying to enjoy the game of boxing. But that's neither here nor there. I'm all off the subject now. But as I said, I think Terence did the right thing. He has nothing to prove. Nothing at all. He done did everything there is to do. And the crazy thing about this boxing game, now that he's gone, if he stay gone, years later, when some of these people mature, that's when they're going to start giving Crawford his credit and begin to say, you know, Crawford was nice. He was nice. With that being said, we're out of here like last year.